What up, nerds? Welcome back to another episode of the Talking N3rdy Podcast. My name is Travis.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we are going to be talking about our thoughts and expectations after having witnessed E3 2019.
Yeah, E3 2019, which it's pretty cool because our first podcast episode was E3 2018.
Was it really?
It
was. My God, you're right. Yes.
So this is basically...
Right after Dunkin' Donuts sitting in the park.
Right? This is basically the 1 year anniversary of the podcast.
Oh my God, and we've had how many episodes at this point?
Well, I think this is 32. This should be episode 32.
Right,
so that's not bad. 32 32 podcasts in 52 weeks. It's the majority.
I think that's pretty good.
It is pretty good, yeah. We fit them in when we can. But, yeah. So, E3 2019.
I guess first off, walking away from it, how did you feel?
Well, I gotta say, just the general vibe is this felt like a filler E3.
Oh, yes, thank God.
Yeah. We've had some
worried
big...
you were going to be like, oh, I'm so excited for this and that. And I'm just like, okay.
We've had some big years the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And each E3 has kind of found a way to top the next. And then this one was definitely just... a
little bit of a letdown.
I feel like everyone's just waiting for the next gen to come out. And they're just like, we're just going to sprinkle out some stuff that we've got and pray for a big announcement next year.
Yeah. The absence of Sony and PlayStation and all those games that we've been waiting to hear more about.
It's a big gap.
That bums me.
Yeah, it was a big hole in the program for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 months ago, if you had asked me what are you looking forward to most for E3, I would have said Last of Us 2 release date.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then finding out that Sony wasn't even going to be there, I was like,
what's the point?
Yeah. And we're biased as pretty much exclusive Sony users, but still,
that's something I've been kind of wondering about, though, is how was the experience for the people that are diehard Nintendo fans and Xbox fans? Were they satisfied? Because I feel like in general, there wasn't really anything announced that people could completely lose their crap over.
Yeah. I feel like if you are a Switch fan, you probably came out pretty happy.
That's fair. Because I will say,
you got a Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yes.
You've got Animal Crossing,
Animal
Pokemon,
Crossing. And then all the stuff that's being ported to Switch as well.
Final Fantasy Remake.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're a Nintendo guy, you did pretty good. What was it? Just Dance 2020 is being released on the Wii, the original Wii.
Oh my God, yeah. That kind of blew my mind.
I think if you're a Wii and a Switch fan, this was definitely your E3, which is not something you usually say.
Yeah. I was just visiting my sister the other day, Christian, and she pointed out that her boyfriend still has a Wii U, and I'm like, people bought those?
Yeah, I always forget about that middle, the Wii U.
It really slipped under the radar.
Yeah. So, but,
there was definitely some disappointment there.
Definitely some disappointment. I guess let's just get the disappointments out of the way first.
Yes.
I noticed, and of course I did not watch every single conference. I wasn't able to watch any of them live, so
Same.
I watched. But I felt like, compared to the past, there was a severe lack of actual gameplay footage.
Yeah.
And just a whole lot of cinematics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much gameplay.
I agree.
Which you can release a game trailer anytime. E3 is a time to, put a controller in someone's hand and really showcase the game.
Well, and I have to say, games aside, I feel like for the last few years, there's been talk of updates to consoles, important updates. There's been information on, VR compatibility, things like that. There have been advancements in the video game tech that they've talked about, but maybe I just missed it. I didn't see any of that this year.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't know.
But that being said,
yeah. Let's move away from the disappointments.
Right. That being said,
it wasn't all bad.
It was not all bad. What was your favorite takeaway?
So, admittedly, something that I was not expecting to kind of grab me the way that it did was the Halo Infinite trailer.
Yeah.
There was something powerfully nostalgic about it that really kind of gripped me and tugged at like a part of my youth I haven't accessed in a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something about watching it, seeing Master Chief, seeing the Halo ring like destroyed, and just hearing those words, "We lost." Like, I just thought back to the other Halo games that I've played through, and I'm like, what? Like, what's this about? What's happening?
You mean I played through Halo 2, 3, and Reach and all this bullshit so we could just lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, there's definitely a curiosity there. I'm excited to see Master Chief back in the game, and for a hot minute, it had me thinking, maybe I do need an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's like one of the only things that came out that's more or less going to be a PlayStation exclusive. Like, I don't see the point in releasing that on other consoles, not like on release.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting for that since they showed that cinematic when the PS3 came out, just to show like what that engine was capable of producing.
Right.
So,
and then here it is so much later, and they're finally
we're
ready.
Actually getting it. Yeah. It looks good. I love seeing the renders of the characters because, like, I played the old PlayStation 1 on the PlayStation. I bought when they brought it over to PS3. Didn't waste my money a third time getting it on PS4, but it's so funny seeing the difference between what it was back then and where we're at now. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Part of me is hoping there's like a pre-order bonus where you get to play as the vintage character skins.
That'd be funny.
I just think that'd be hilarious.
Kind of like what they did with Tomb Raider.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to say those are the two biggest things that I was like, heck yes. And like I had said, like I feel like everything that they showed for the Nintendo Switch, I'm kind of feeling like now's the time to jump on it and get that console.
Yeah, I would definitely get a Switch before I got an Xbox.
Yeah, because like I know so many people that have said such wonderful things about Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. Like everyone in my family pretty much plays Animal Crossing, and like the new one does intrigue me. It's a good looking game. And then with Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out for like a television based console, that just really excites me.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I don't know if you've ever had the chance to play Doom. I picked it up because it was on sale, and Doom Eternal looks like it's going to be dope as hell.
And is that a sequel or a DLC?
I believe it's a sequel because it definitely is a sequel because I saw a photo. I don't know if it was a leak or if it was official, but it was there's like a collector's edition that's coming out with a wearable helmet from the Praetor rig that the guy wears. So, and like an art book, lithograph, something like that. I don't know. It looked really, really cool. So I was like, maybe I should check out the old Doom, or not the old one, but the remake.
Right.
Because it looked super cool. I heard good things about it, and honestly, it's super fun. So now I'm like getting pumped up for Doom Eternal.
That's good. Well, that comes out in November, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah. So that will be here quick. I gotta ask, man, what'd you think about Avengers?
Ah, yes, Avengers. I think it looks pretty disappointing in my opinion.
Yeah? Why?
Well, I feel like... Okay, one, it's a good time to release an Avengers game because of the hype.
Yes.
But I think for the same reason, it's a bad time to release an Avengers game because of the hype. Because so many people are going to be hypercritical because they have such high expectations because they've been, we just got
Infinity War and Endgame.
Right, we just wrapped up this whole big thing, and then so I feel like people are going to be hypercritical, and I think I was definitely hypercritical of the gameplay and the trailer that they showed. Because you've fallen in love with these characters, of course, and these are characters that people have loved for decades, but for the last decade, the part of the reason why you love the characters is also because of the people that are playing them, and
Absolutely.
and the voices. And so just having these people that are rendered and voiced entirely different, they just feel like strangers. They don't feel like the Avengers. That being said, I'm sure if you just get into the game itself, it could probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it just felt a little weird because it's so different than what we've come to get used to with the cinematic universe.
Agreed.
Iron Man looked a little stiff with his flying.
For sure.
That was kind of a. I mean, the Hulk looked pretty good, and Thor looked pretty good, but Iron Man looked a little limited.
Yeah. Do you follow IGN on Snapchat at all?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure they have the article available on their website, but I just happened to come across it on Snapchat, where they talked about their hands-on demo they experienced, and they said that the two best characters to play as, purely based on the demo, are Hulk and Thor.
Okay.
They said Iron Man was actually the worst.
Wow.
Because of the flight mechanic. It's
Yeah.
very contained.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you remember when I had Iron Man 2 on the PS3, but that was a big issue was the flight mechanic.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a bubble.
Right. You can only go just so far up, down, left, right. You're just kind of like hovering
Yeah.
over the map. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like when you have a character that has that freedom of motion, and I would say especially after the success of the Spider-Man game that came out, where it's like you really have total freedom as far as that character's abilities allow, to have a character like Iron Man that can literally fly anywhere, go anywhere, because he can be ranged and close up.
Yeah.
Limiting that mobility is going to really hinder the player experience for that character.
For sure. Well, and I gotta say, I'm glad you brought up Spider-Man, because for an Avengers game, I would expect it to have graphics like Spider-Man,
Yep.
and it does not whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, that's because we're dealing with Square Enix. They kind of
Right. Yeah.
they stylize things.
Exactly. And I think that a game like this would benefit from the more realistic graphics than the stylized graphics.
Agreed. I think it's one of those things where, we've seen the response. We've seen, it's an early peak. I think there's still time for them to work on it. It doesn't come out until I think it said May 15th of next year.
Okay, so they can clean it up.
Yeah, for sure. I did see that they released a statement that they are not going to reanimate the characters, even though people don't like how they look.
Yeah, I did see that.
Good for them sticking to their guns.
Yeah. I gotta say, my biggest beef with the whole thing with the characters was their hair. Everybody's hair looked horrible.
Agreed.
Their faces and their suits are fine, but their hair was bad.
It almost looked like they were wearing excessive hair gel underwater. Their hair's clustered, but it sways way too freely. There's no real gravity.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just there was something weird.
Yeah. But that being said, I will say I'm excited because Nolan North is Tony Stark and Troy Baker is Bruce Banner, and I think that's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good choice. All right, moving on. Star Wars.
Yes. Star Wars, okay.
Which, of course, this was not like an E3 announcement, but they did show. This was one of the few
gameplay footage.
Right, this was one of the few games where they actually gave us gameplay. We got to see a full mission.
It was 14, 15-minute video clip of it.
Yeah, which is something that I expect during E3,
Yes,
so,
absolutely. That game comes out in November of this year? Or is that early next year?
November 15th.
November 15th.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So seeing the gameplay, I was excited when I saw the trailer, but seeing the gameplay, I'm excited. It looks good.
Yeah?
I think so.
What are you most excited for based on what you saw?
That it's just a story. Mm-hmm. It's just story. There's no multiplayer. There's no, I think it's cool that you're playing as essentially a Padawan that survived.
Yeah.
So it's between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One, essentially.
Yes.
And so we've got Saw Gerrera, and it's probably going to get into the different factions of the rebellion, developing. And maybe we could get to see some other Jedi that survive, maybe, at some point during the game. I think that would be cool.
I'm pretty sure that you're going to.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I definitely had some concerns while watching that clip.
Okay. What are you concerned about?
My biggest concern is that it looks way too similar to The Force Unleashed.
Ah, so you're afraid it's going to be a copycat.
Yeah, because right now it very much feels that way. Kind of when the jungle environment he's in looks very much like Felucia, jumping from platform to platform, attacking stormtroopers, attacking like those Magna Guard characters with the electro staffs.
Right.
And especially when you get into the more industrial aspects where there's like a base or an outpost of some kind, and he force pushes the doors in and they just like explode inwards.
Mm-hmm. That's Force Unleashed.
It's straight out of the Force Unleashed. That being said, the story, I do like that they're tying it more into the cinematic universe instead of trying to tell something that is purely their own.
Yeah.
But I had 2 points of criticism that I stand by, and it's what's keeping me kind of reserved. The first being, I feel like if they're gonna go with an all new character that we've never witnessed before, I feel like they should have kind of ridden like the Rey is a female Jedi hype train, especially after having like Captain Marvel come out, Wonder Woman come out. I feel like it should have been a female character.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
We've already had way too many just. This is Darth Revan. This is, the Apprentice. Like,
yeah. Anytime you've ever played as a Jedi, you've played as a dude Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like it's played out. I feel like I want a little bit of a change. That would have been nice.
For sure.
That being said, if they're gonna go with a white male protagonist, why didn't they choose to tell the story of Kanan Jarrus?
Right, if you're going to just pick an actual guy that's already established, if you're going to have someone that fits that bill.
Exactly, because like we literally have the comic series Kanan, the Last Padawan or Last Jedi, whatever it is, and it's literally this same story. It's Kanan Jarrus as a Padawan trying to survive Order 66, getting caught up with the rebellion, all of that stuff. It's literally the same story.
Right. I would have loved to play as an alien.
Agreed.
It's Star Wars.
And that's the other thing is if you don't want it to be strictly female character, if you don't want it to be somebody we already know like Kanan, give us some customization. Let us build our own character.
That's true. That was my one critique that I think we briefly talked about back when the game was first announced, was that I really wanted to see if you're having a character that is not part of anything that's been previously established, then at the beginning of the game you should get to build your own Jedi.
Yeah, like
and then you're going to be more invested in this person's survival.
Absolutely.
You're going to care about them having to escape Order 66 and work through it on their own. Yeah. And, make new allies and things if you get to choose your blade color, your gender, your race, your general look.
Yeah, height, build, all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like character creation is difficult.
Yeah,
for a
and
game.
I could be wrong. I'm actually going to Google it right now, but I think the actor they have portraying. Oh, I got low battery flashing on my screen now.
I'm flashing also.
Okay. Well, okay.
I'm
pretty sure it's the actor who plays the Joker on Gotham.
It is. I looked that up the other day. Yeah. All right. Okay. So then let's end with Cyberpunk 2077.
Keanu! I'm so excited.
I was excited for this game from the original trailer.
I wasn't until I saw this trailer.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I was intrigued because it seemed different.
Yes.
Yeah, it seemed different. So, but I'm definitely even more excited now. It comes out April 2020, so they've still got plenty of time to do more improvements. But it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
Agreed. It'll definitely be something different, and we need that, I think.
Right. Yeah. And then, real quick, one final... my biggest excitement out of this whole E3 is the new Watch Dogs.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I didn't care enough about the other two to care about this one.
Well, okay, see, I've played the other two, and so I really enjoy the series. And, you play as the same protagonist, and so this idea of being able to recruit anyone, I really like, because I think it will fit in well with what the series is supposed to be about, which is, people rebelling against this centralized, technologically driven surveillance state.
Yeah.
But in the other games, you and a small handful of NPCs are the only people that care about what's going on. And everyone else just going about their daily lives is like content to just be, constantly watched, and you're painted as a villain. So the idea of being able to, one, it's now in the future, so we're jumping ahead several years instead of being contemporary to when the game's released. Two, now it's going to help add to that widespread, breakdown of the system, showing that the technology that they tried so hard to control everyone with is now being used against them. And then being able to play as all these different people, to fight that system.
Give it a fresh and varied experience for the player.
Right, exactly. And then when an NPC dies, they stay dead. Yes. So you can get really invested in these people that you like, and you can play a bulk of the game, and then they die during a mission, and you have to find someone completely new. Yeah. I think that's pretty... I mean, that's not typical. New. That's very, very new concept. Fresh. It's a fresh concept in a series that's already established, but I think that it's a concept that fits well with the story that they've already... paved the way with. So I'm excited for that, because I do like the other ones. I just really hope that they fix the driving, because that's always Watch Dogs' biggest downfall is the driving.
We will see, man. We will have to wait and see.
But yeah, like we said at the beginning, very, very lackluster, very just filler year.
I'm just looking forward to hearing more from Sony and PlayStation about their stuff.
Do you think Sony's going to have their own conference, and that's why they sat this one out?
Absolutely. They want the spotlight on them and them alone.
But when do you think...
Give me God of War Ragnarok.
Right. When do you think they'll bust out a Sony conference?
I'm going to say...
September?
I was going to say September, either August or September.
Right ahead of the big release season?
Right before holidays, because then they can drop the bomb this game is coming out now.
In 2 months,
Yeah, kind of.
For sure.
So, I guess listeners, what were you most excited about? What are you looking forward to? What are your thoughts and or feelings? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time,
stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.